personally don't have any blower fan in the heater. And so the fan isn't working. And it is up in that box. These are the fan wires. That comes from the switch, and that goes to the fan. So here is a fan that's been removed. Replacing the fan motor is not an easy job because this whole assembly has to come out, and this plate has to come off, and then you can get this motor out. So if you want to test a motor, there's 3 wires. Black wire, you got to have a ground. You can see the motor's insulated so you don't hear it all the time. And then you've got those 2. One will be for high speed, one will be for low speed. So if you power one of these, you can test the motor. I'm going to put power to one of these, and what do we get? So there was your low speed. Might as well check it. So there's a good motor if you need it. So I brought over that motor which we've just tested. I've grounded it. I've hooked it up to the car system. I get the fan that's low. There's medium. Well, for some reason, the high speed comes out low speed. But it tells me, you know, the system up in here is working well enough that I should be getting something out of the fan motor. And I still get nothing out of this blower motor, so I'm going to have to read up, how do you remove that? (24-33). It doesn't say anything about taking the glove box out, but I mentioned you're going to have to. We don't know for sure that the switch is bad on the J, but this is a spare housing that I had, and it shows this switch for the air-conditioned cars. That's the feed. That's for one speed, that's for another speed. So I'll test them here just to make sure this is a good working switch. The details on the wiring of the switch is not in the electrical section, it's in the air conditioning section. And there you can see we were just looking at. So the green is the high speed and the brown is a medium speed. For taking out the blower housing on an AC car, again it's an air conditioning 24. And I won't read it to you. I've done these on cars that I was junking, but this will be the first time I have to get under a dashboard. So, blower box removal, 300J. Might as well do it now. I've got the console and the seats out, so I've got access. This is the thing we're gonna take out. There's one screw. And there's another screw down there, and then there's one up, all the way up in there. Access is gonna be the problem. And we're gonna have to take the glove box out because there's just no room to work up there. Let's get started. Appears to be different length screws. The longer ones go up in here because they don't have anything they gotta worry about. And the short ones, they go on the bottom. Disconnect the ground wire from the wiper motor. There, see it? Right there on the bottom. A little bit of a reach, but there it is. Should be able to get that. Looks like I have to disconnect the vacuum lines and poke them back through. So, red tracer on the outside of this can. I took off the glove box door just to have more room to move. I removed the motors just so I had a little more clearance. Didn't really remove them, just unbolted them, and that gave me a little more fore and aft. And now's a good time to, actually now's a good time to replace the heater valve, but this one's not leaking. So I imagine installation is going to be no fun at all. Because this was, you know, it would go, then it wouldn't go, and jiggles and all that. These are the vacuum lines that run through the firewall out into the engine compartment. They're easy enough to disconnect. There's only 3 of them, and then snake back. So I believe blower box can come out. And that upper bolt, it's way up in there, and they said you got to remove the wiper arm. You don't have to remove the wiper arm. I was able with just extensions on a quarter drive to get it out. Installation's probably going to be a real terror, but I don't need to take this out any further than this, which means I can leave some of the vacuum lines still hooked up. All I need to do to change the motor is here, here, and a couple more, and the whole assembly is out. So there you go. You see the mud daubers got in there. So that's the one we just took out. That's the one we're going to put in. That happens to be from a 63 Imperial coupe that had AC, but I think the blower motors are all the same size. But certainly they would be in this case. Now, I'll bet you're asking, why didn't you just unbolt those 3 and swap them? Look at the size of the squirrel cage. it won't fit through the hole. And these things are attached such that you aren't getting this squirrel cage off that shaft easy. So you do have to take the whole assembly, which isn't that much longer. So I'll screw that in, and then I will test it. Ha! And we should have no high speed. Yep. So, it was the fan motor, and that will fix that much, but we will still have to get into that switch. Time to put that top screw in. That's how I'm going to try it. Why they tell you to remove the wiper arm? It's for the assembly of the top bolt. Just in order to get the right angle of all your extensions, you need to take that arm down, which is just a clip and a washer. So here is it 90%. Well, there it is. The glove box was pretty well shot, so I'll have to get another one of those and then put on the glove box lid and call that done.